Chloe.
And yes, we do make money on Instagram. All right, what's up, y'all? It's Emma here, flying solo. Please ignore my voice. Please ignore the fact that I am stuffy. Here's the deal. It is the afternoon, and I woke up an hour ago. And when I tell you, like, it's the afternoon, like, it's the afternoon. Like, it's afternoon. I got home last night at 1:15 and I couldn't fall asleep till like 4. Super fun. But I am flying solo because it's never a dull day, and Chloe and I were supposed to record Get Yourself a Chloe. And I had to run to urgent care to get a concussion test. So they would let me on stage for Matilda. So here we are. It's opening night and I'm ready to freaking rock and talk to you about how you need to fucking stop working. A concept for so many of us, myself included. Look, everything I'm going to say in this episode are still things that I'm working on. And in every conversation I've had with every mentor I've had, they're also still working on this. Why? Because our businesses and our lives are so intertwined and life happens, right? We could have a specific kind of plan for our day, for our week, for a project we're working on, and then life happens, right? I mean, I was in a car crash a month ago. That changed a lot. And actually, let's use this as an example. When I got in the crash, I knew that I needed to take a week off. I did take a week off, but I am also still sort of, I don't want to say paying for that because I needed to take a week off. That was really not an option. But I'm still spending a lot of time on my work because I am catching up on things. So let's use this in the context of Right Hand Glam. I have 4 one-on-one engagement clients. I get that question a lot. Do I actually have clients? Yeah, I actually have clients. And I took the time away from those 4 one-on-one clients, but I didn't want to pass them on to anyone else on my team because there was already too much happening. And my clients were also cool with just like us figuring out a plan moving forward to make that time up. And so what I did was every week, a different person had a makeup week. And so every day I was doubling up on sessions for that person. And so I am still working on that. There is still one person left that we need to catch up on. And so that's when life impacts the business impacts life. I've been a lot more tired the past few weeks, obviously, because of the crash, but on top of that, because I've had to work more. But moving forward, that means I need to be even more firm in my boundaries to stop fucking working. So, how do we stop fucking working? Well, it starts with setting your working hours. And this is something that I've recently seen people get pushback against. So me in my Facebook groups, I'm always scrolling, I'm always looking, I'm always laughing. And someone posted that they set working hours in a Facebook group and the client tried to change them. Or not in a Facebook group. Oh my God. They set working hours in their contract. They posted this in a Facebook group and the client tried to change the working hours. I'm sorry. What? No. And here's why I'm an advocate for putting your working hours in your contract and not just your welcome guide, because a lot of people who use welcome guides, they'll put their working hours in there. Right Hand Glam, we are contractually obligated to be available 11 to 4 Eastern. Okay. But that does not mean my specific strategist has to work those hours or be available those hours. Not even me, just someone has to be. So I would say that that's not even something super strict, and that's not even something that clients have cared about. I mean, I have clients right now that are in different countries, on the other side of the fucking world, and they have not asked me to change my working hours at all because whatever, who gives a shit? So to break down our team, I'm in Eastern, Whitney's in Eastern, Chloe's in Central, Lauren is in Italy, and Feli is in France. So while Feli and Lauren typically do work Eastern time, a lot of the time they might actually be clocking out by the time I'm just starting my work day. But I know that if their clients need anything, if I see anything pop up, I can go in there or Chloe can go in there and just answer if need be. And usually their clients might not be up and working either. And if they are, they'll respond. And usually we tie up all loose ends. And if there's something that comes up, I'll be like, hey, they clocked out for the day, but they'll obviously see this tomorrow, just tagging them right here so they can circle back. So 11 to 4 is the time where I'm available. 11 to 4. That's the window in which I get notifications from Slack as well. I do not get Slack notifications after 4 p.m. Now, sometimes am I working after 4 p.m.? Absolutely. Sometimes am I working before 11 a.m.? Absolutely. That's the beauty of the flexibility of what we do. Here's the other thing. Something I've learned recently is people do not read their contracts. They don't read their contracts. And so if someone even said, do you have working hours? I'd be like, did you read your contract? But that's never happened. But I have set those for my peace of mind to know that I do not have to be available after 4 p.m. or before 11 a.m. if I do not want to be. And that helps protect my sanity. But also, really, this all comes down to client communication. Example, I went to Mexico in October. I knew I was going to be working at 5:30 in the morning at the airport. So I told my clients, hey, I'm going to Mexico, but I'm going to be working. I'm going to be working, though, at 5:30 in the morning. Nobody gave a fuck. We have this idea in our heads that our clients are going to act like the world is coming to an end if we make any changes. Everybody has their own shit to deal with. Everybody has their own business to deal with. Nobody gives a fuck if you are going to slightly change your working hours as long as you communicate it. Another example, last night we had the show and I got out at 11 o'clock. I thought I was going to have time to finish a client while I was there. I only had 10 minutes left. I was like, oh, that's feasible. I'll do 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 3 minutes there. No, it just was not feasible. So as I left the theater, I messaged the client and I said, hey, I'm just letting you know, I'm going to finish tomorrow. I didn't even hear from him. I was like, I knew he wasn't going to care either, because as long as you are fulfilling your contractual obligations, you're fine, right? So we are contractually obligated to do 2.5 hours a week. The contract says Monday through Thursday, but that is the working hours that I have set. Monday through Thursday, 11 to 4. That's for me. That's for my peace of mind. They don't care if I'm working later or earlier, because as I said earlier, life impacts the business, business impacts life. They also might be working earlier or later. 11 to 4 might not be their working hours. So it's all okay. The world is not going to come to an end if you A, set boundaries, or B, make changes. People do not care as much as you think they do. Here's the other thing. If you want to make more money, you do not have to work more. You also can hire team members without being an agency. Right Hand Glam being an agency was never something that was necessarily planned. It sort of just happened. And I don't think my business could work, nor could I make what I want to make without it being an agency, right? But there are ways to build a team and not be an agency, right? So for example, if you're a copywriter, you can bring on a junior copywriter and not be an agency. But that's going to help you make a shit ton of more money. When we do pop-up offers, like the refresh, for example, I delegate to team members when I know I'm not going to get it all done. So if we sell 10 refreshes, that is a net profit of almost $3,000. I know I can pay a team member to take on some of that, and I just make sure that I am aware of my profit margins. So I can help a team member make money, serve more clients because of this offer, but also make money myself. You can work less and make more. Let me say it again one more time. You can work less and make more. That doesn't mean you're not putting in the work. That doesn't mean you're not working your fucking ass off. Because you are. But there's a way to do that sustainably. That comes with setting boundaries with things like working hours. I think this is a great time to talk about the Right Hand Glam 4-day work week because people are still dumbfounded by this. And I'm going to break it down and make it really simple for you. So we have two packages, 2.5 hours a week of engagement, an hour and a half a week of engagement. How we used to operate was actually there was a time where I was working Sunday through Thursday. Why? I don't know. But there was a time where I was working Sunday through Thursday. So typically we would work Monday through Friday, 30 minutes a day per client. Great. Wonderful. Awesome. That's a pretty dank work day. And if we're talking about engagement as a whole, engagement is probably one of those things that is the least amount of time in terms of a service that you can offer for the highest amount of money. However, it's one of the hardest things to do because you have to be on that entire time. It's not like when you are working on a project-based retainer or anything like that where you can kind of do things like yes, you have a deadline, but like you can spread it out over time. This is like, no, like you have to be in and on for 30 minutes. That's a lot. That's a lot. And not only that, you're being someone else. And that's why some people are like, oh my God, you only have, 2 hours of client work a day. Yes, but in that 2 hour span, I need to be 4 different people. Not only do I need to be 4 different people, but I need to know very specific things about those 4 different people. I need to talk like them. I need to know what their lives are like. I need to know what they did last weekend. I need to know their pets' names. I need to know their kids, their partners. It is something that needs attention to detail at all fucking times. I digress. So we used to work Monday to Friday, 30 minutes a day for our full package. We shifted that last summer. And we were originally just trialing it out, and the plan was to do June through September and do 37.5 minutes a day, Monday through Thursday, because that's the math. And our reasoning behind that is, and this is super crucial if you're going to make any kind of change in your business, particularly to your working hours, is you need data to back it up. Now, for a lot of different offers, something like copywriting or web design, again, you're gonna have a deadline versus like, I need to get X amount of time done every single day. Like this is like, we have to hit this number every single week. We originally positioned it as, and this is the truth, and this is why we continued to do it, was that engagement on Fridays was kind of meh. If you don't post before a certain time on a Friday, it kind of falls into the abyss. People are getting burnt out. People are counting down the hours till the end of their workday. They're signing off. They're getting ready. In the summer, I'm from the Philadelphia area. People are going down the fucking shore. Like, they get off work, they go to the beach. They don't want to be on Instagram talking business. So it was just kind of like this wasteland. And we felt like we were screaming into the abyss on Fridays. And it just wasn't a good use of our time or our clients' investment. I think in a perfect world, if our team actually had the capacity for it, we would shift to a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday work week. Because talk about getting the most bang for your buck with engagement, it's those 3 days. And for our partial clients, they get 30 minutes a day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And the reason that we did that instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was because Monday is the second lowest day for engagement because people are tired, they're easing back into things, their brains just might not be fully turned on yet. Tuesday and Thursday have notoriously always been the best day for engagement. Hot tip, save your best and juiciest content for Tuesdays and Thursdays because that's when it's going to get the traction. But doing 2.5 hours for anywhere between 4 and 8 clients, which is what our team looks like, would just be too much to ask of my team. That's too overwhelming. So, we have this really great system now where people have partial clients and they have full clients. So some Mondays they have a really light workload, and that's great. And that's a great way to ease into the week. And taking care of my team and minding their mental health is something that is so important to me. So Monday through Friday, 37.5 minutes a day. And then the fall came and we had been sending out contracts with that same schedule. And so I talked to the team and I was like, all right, do you want to keep this 4-day work week? Does this feel sustainable for you? Does this feel good for you? Is working a little bit more every day so you don't have to work on Fridays something that you actually like? And it was a resounding yes all around. They were like, we don't want to work Fridays. And I was like, great, love this for everybody. We are contractually covered on this front because we've been sending out contracts that say this is our work schedule. And then we just communicated it to the rest of our clients. And guess what? Nobody gave a fuck. Why? Because they had been used to it for 4 fucking months. So it did, like, they almost didn't remember a world where we were working Monday to Friday. And another reason that I really love this for engagement, if you're an engagement strategist out there, is that on Monday, you come back with a lot to do, especially if you have a client that is not super on top of their DMs. So I have one client that she really doesn't check her DMs on the weekend. So on Monday, I have a ton to do when I get back in there. And chef's kiss, love that. Because then I'm not like rolling my eyes on a Monday and feeling lethargic about my work because I'm waiting for things to pick up because people aren't there. No, there is shit for me to do because it has been left for me over the weekend. And I personally really love that. So what does it look like to communicate any kind of change to your client? But let's use this as an example. You want to change your work schedule. Yes, I love that for you. So I always try to be ahead of the game. So if you're going to go with a big change, I think, 45 to 60 days is the way to go. So let's, again, use this as an example. We're going to send communication out to all of our clients. Hi, Neem. Hope you're doing well. We have a really exciting update here at Right Hand Glam. We are going to be shifting our work schedule from Monday to Thursday. Why are we doing this? Well, we've noticed in our, I guess at that point, year and a half of doing this that, it was last summer. Back up. I can't tell time. In our 2 years of doing this, we have seen that engagement on Fridays is fairly low and fewer people are on. So we want to make the most out of our time and your investment and shift to this new schedule. We'll actually be in there for more time every day and we'll be capitalizing on peak engagement times. If you have any questions, let us know. We're super excited. That does not leave room for people to say, I don't want this. You don't want to give people an out when you are making those big changes. Now, what is giving them 45 to 60 days notice about this change do? Gives them an out in a different way. They can cancel their contract. They can't tell you, I don't approve of this change because it's not their place to. This is your business, your rules. This goes for anything. Price increases. That's something that people are really scared about. 45 to 60 days. Give people time to think about it. Make sure that they are ahead of their cancellation times. So if they're like, I really can't swing this, they can go, right? But it doesn't give them space to line item you and say, this is not what I want. Always back your shit up with data. Always. Because that gives people less room to question you. Also, low engagement on Friday, I feel like, is an across the board thing. And now, since it's been so long since I have been working on Fridays, like, I don't even open my phone on Fridays. I don't. To look at my Instagram, no, because Friday is my day to do my me things. I go get my nails done. I go get my hair done. I go to doctor's appointments. It's really increased my quality of life. Why? Because I decided to stop fucking working. Setting those boundaries for your business is the best thing that you can do for yourself to be a better business owner. If you are available at all times for anything, you are not serving yourself. And frankly, you're not serving your clients well, because then there will come a time where life impacts the biz impacts life, and you won't be able to answer something immediately or do something immediately. And then you'll be like, huh, because you didn't set that boundary beforehand. Other ways to stop fucking working. Hire and delegate. I touched on this briefly earlier. Even if it's just on a project-based basis, even if you want to bring someone on to do small little things, it can change the game. And yes, You are parting with some of your money when you hire people. However, at the same time, you are literally able to make more money because you're able to offer more slots to people. And that is huge. You are giving people more opportunities to work with you, your business, your team without having to sacrifice more of your time. I think the most important thing to remember here, and this is a conversation I've had with people a lot lately, is that we've done this to ourselves. Somehow, the online space is now reminiscent of corporate space. And I firmly believe that that is just not acceptable because we left a corporate space to play by our own rules. But now we've somehow been chained to our desks, our phones, our computers, and we're working just as much as we were then. Yes, we're working on our own terms. We are the boss, but it's become a lot. It's become a lot. And in an industry that was trying to get rid of hustle culture, to be the anti-hustle culture, we're now like, you have to hustle to make money and blah, 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 blah. No, only work more if you actually want to work more. Something I talk about all the time with my business coaches, I love a pop-up offer because it keeps my creative juices flowing. It's obviously a great cash injection. Typically, it allows me to present an opportunity to my team to make more money. But I don't want to do those offers all the time, right? There are always people that are asking me about those offers. And if someone comes to me and is like, yeah, can I do a refresh? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it for you. I don't care. But I like live launching those things because I get to compartmentalize my energy, focus on that, and go from there. But I'm not committed to it long term. When you put an offer on your website or your service guide, yes, you can always remove it, but you're committing yourself to that offer and doing that thing probably on a regular basis. That's why I like to do these pop-up offers because then I get to choose. I am saying I am going to work more for this amount of time, typically a short window of time, and then I'm going to give myself rest. And once it's done, it's done. And that can be for things like master classes. That can be for things like resource shops, template shops, memberships, all of it. I think we also need to talk about your level of availability when it comes to things like memberships, cohorts, any kind of coaching or education offer where you are hands-on. You need to make it very clear what your availability looks like. So let's use the Engagement Academy as an example here. The Engagement Academy has a Slack workspace, and that Slack workspace is something that I am in. But I am not obligated anywhere because it's a free resource to answer. And a lot of the time, I'm not the first to answer. And if someone tags me, I'll answer, but I am under no obligation to. Nowhere on the sales page, on the website, does it say that I am always available there. My time that I put into that is what I choose to put into that. Because it's a free add-on to the Engagement Academy. So whatever amount of time that I dictate you're allowed to have is what you get. And that might sound harsh to some people, but if you're not paying for my time, you don't get unlimited access to me. And that goes for all of us. If people are not paying for your time, they don't get unlimited access to you. Think about all the things we do in our daily life that we have to pay for because we're paying for people's time and expertise. The plumber, the guy that cuts the grass, your house cleaner, your doctor, your therapist, your accountant. The list goes on and on. Those people are not available to you for free 24/7. You are going to pay them for a service and they are going to fulfill that service. something that has always pissed me off about the online space is that people are so weird about paying you for your services, or they think they can just stop paying because something in life comes up. If you get a bill from the plumber because your toilet broke, you can't just decide to not pay that bill. You can't just decide that something else in life came up, so you're not going to pay. That's just not how it works. And so you need to treat your online service providers with more respect than that, because they're the plumber for your business, right? Maybe that was not the best analogy, but I think it drives the point home. So let's take this full fucking circle for why you need to stop fucking working. We came into this space to work less and make more on our own terms. And data actually shows that the average corporate employee actually only works about 4 hours a day, because that's what the human brain's capacity is for working. Crazy to think about. When you think about your corporate life, how much time did you spend in the bathroom, on your phone, milling at the water cooler, making food or coffee in the kitchen, taking your lunch break and like going down the street and getting food, right? Like, you were not actually working 9 to 5. So my challenge for you is to actually make a list, and this might actually bring up some pain, so make sure you take care of yourself. Might bring up some trauma. Take stock of what a day in your corporate life looked like. What did you actually do as a corporate employee? And be honest. I was on my phone. I was in the kitchen. I was at the water cooler. I was hiding in the bathroom. I was half listening to a Zoom meeting. Be real with yourself about how much you were actually working. And then let that translate into your business. One of my favorite tips to stop fucking working is when you're making your daily to-do list, do the least. Write down the bare fucking minimum that you have to do. And then all of the other things that you do on top of that are this like huge win that you get to celebrate, right? So if I have on my to-do list for the day, the only thing I have to do is my engagement clients. Everything else I get done outside of that is a win I get to celebrate. Maybe I have a deadline for the end of the week to make content for a client. Okay, great. It's Tuesday. I don't need to have that done yet. I'm a little tired. I'm not going to do that today. Or maybe it's Tuesday and I have a lot of energy, so I'm going to do that day. But it's not on my to-do list because it doesn't have to get done. This allows you to have room for celebration. And that celebration then brings joy, and that celebration then drives you through to the next day and keeps you excited about your work, keeps you excited about what you offer, keeps you excited to get up every day and do this. Because if you are waking up every day dreading what you have to do, something needs to change, because then we are just falling back into the trap of what we left. Your time is precious. And so many of us are people pleasers, especially as women. We've been taught to give and give and give and not push back and not ask questions and do things at the drop of a hat. But that's not sustainable for a happy life. There is nothing wrong with saying no. I have had to say no so many times, especially this past week. People have asked so much of me. And I'm like, I still have a concussion. I'm still recovering from this car crash. I now just got engaged and I have a show this weekend and I'm going to London on Tuesday. And although you all want to squeeze this shit in, I don't want to squeeze this shit in because my time and my energy are precious and I need to take care of that. So, in the decisions that you make for your business, the moments you are taking care of yourself, you need to put yourself first. And it's easier said than done. And it's absolutely terrifying. But if you need support, Chloe and I are here to help you do those things because we've already done that. We know how to say no. We say no all the time. We say no to clients. We say no to things in our personal lives. We say no to each other. And that's okay because life impacts the biz and biz impacts life. We will be back on Wednesday for our weekly crash. It'll be Chloe flying solo because your girl is gallivanting off to London again. But we are amped about this season in general. We are really excited about the direction of this season. And I want to put a call out to any moneymakers who are doing something just a little bit different. We had on Bethany to talk about how social media has impacted the hospitality space. We're going to be having somebody on to talk about how social media has impacted the travel industry. We are really hoping to have on an OnlyFans creator who is going to be able to talk about how social media impacts that portion of the internet. So if you are a moneymaker out there that is working in an industry that has been impacted by social media, obviously positively or negatively, we want to hear both sides because we are so about keeping it real on here. Give us a shout out, send us a message. We want to hear from you, whether that be on the Yes I Make Money account or on Right Hand Glam. Please reach out to us because we are open to hearing your story. We don't know it all and we will own that day after day. We are always learning. That is a key part of being a business owner in the online space. You are always learning and we want to learn from you. So with that, money makers, have a great rest of your day and we'll catch you on the flip side.